Have you ever went to a show somewhere with an exhibit and they didn't have a sign on their exhibit, especially at a 4-H or an FFA show? It makes it kind of hard to know, well, whose goats are those in that pen? Who do they belong to? You see a show and you see somebody in the ring and, hey, this one just got grand champion. Well, where's it going? Who does it belong to? I want to buy goats from them people. How do you know? This is how. You put a sign up to say this is who we are, so you can show who we are, what we do, where we're at. Come see us. We'll be glad to sell you a goat, or we'll be glad if you have your bucks to stud your bucks out to help them improve their herd. Which, after all, that's what it's all about. It's improving our herd to have better quality goats. So, today we're going to show you how to make a sign and a little stand to put it on so it can be shown at your exhibit when you're out. 4-H and FFA, this is a really good thing for you because there is an award for your exhibit and how it's presented to us and how clean it is and so forth and so on. The better it looks, the better your chances are to winning that award. The premium for our state for winning first place for that is $100 just for keeping things clean and neat and exhibiting your animals as they should be. Now, the sign itself. Our sign in particular is just an 18 by 24 sign. We had it printed so we could just have our logo as is. There are many ways to do this. You could get you a piece of thin plywood or luan. You could get you a poster board or even those reading fair boards that you find out there. Very inexpensive. Don't have to spend a lot of money. Even this only costs us about 20 bucks to get printed up. So there's a lot of different methods and ways to do it. Once you get your board, then you just take it and you paint it, you draw it, you stencil it, whatever you want to do to make it be presentable for you in your form. Now, a few little things that you will need. PVC pipe. I started out with 3 pieces of 10-foot PVC pipe. This is 3/4 inch. This one in particular is just a scrap piece. We'll show you the rest later. Some paint. If you choose to paint whatever color you like, have at it. You'll need a tape measure, some kind of Sharpie or pencil or something to mark the pipe with, and then you'll need to measure your piping out. Then you'll also need some zip ties so you can tie this thing up to your frame. You see, here's our piece of PVC that we had earlier. You can see I used it for painting scrap just to set this stuff on. But as you can see, I've got all this laid out for you just so you can kind of see what it is, and I will make sure I put in the comments what exactly all the measurements are, so in case you want to make yours just like ours, you can. These first 2 here, these are 4 foot long. These are 1 foot long. These are our legs to give us our height. We have couplings in there. These are 18 inches, these are 24, and these are 15. We have some T's, and some elbows, and some caps. It's pretty simple stuff. It's not a whole lot to it. To put this stuff together, you just stick it together. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to lay it out just as if we were setting it up. As it's 24 inch wide, let's just move all this over out of the way and we'll get us some room. And slide the feet over that way. Or the legs, excuse me. You see how it goes pretty quickly. These actually go in here. Now the top is going to have elbows. We just stick our elbows on there. Now if you notice, these are painted. I painted these after I got them all cut out. Of course you cut it out first and then paint it, because otherwise you're going to have trouble getting your fittings onto the pipe if it's painted pipe. So make sure that you cut everything and make sure it's right first before you cut it out. So then we take our T's here. And you'll see this doesn't take long at all. You just pop it in there. Some go in easy, some go in hard. Now you'll notice that there's I'm missing the teeth. There it is. And you'll notice some of this, I must have mixed some of the teeth that I had up because my piping is not exactly right on the paint there, so I'll figure that out later. So, now we take our 18-inch pieces and we put them in there. Alright, so now we have our top. This is where the sign's going to go, and it's going to look something like this once we stick it together. So, we're going to set this aside for a second. There we go. Now, your legs. You want to carry your legs on down and get them longer. So what we do here is we stick these in here, and there's a reason why we don't just have two long legs, why we have two of these. We've got couplers on here. You'll notice that I messed up right there, and actually when I took these off for the sake of space, I took them off and did the painting, so now it's really difficult to get it on the PVC pipe. So now we have this done. We have our legs. So that's the basic of it, the basic part of it. So we're going to just set this aside for just a moment. We're going to grab the feet. These pieces are separate for a good reason. In a lot of stalls, when you go to a show, a lot of times with your sign, you'll have to attach it to something. There's not a lot of room. You get small little pins that you work with, and then we kind of go from there. In most cases, you should be able to just take your sign and attach it and zip tie it up to the side of the pin. However, that's not always the case. It may be cases where you have to do something else. So what we've done is I've created another part of this sign to actually put it together. If I can remember what we're doing here and talk at the same time, we're going to do this. Basically, what we're doing is making 2 feet. So these will go on the bottom like so your sign can be a freestanding sign. So here we are, time to put the actual sign into the frame that we built for the sign. So I went ahead and drilled all the little holes. There's a lot of different ways you can do that, whether it's with sticking a nail through it, drilling it with the proper drill, or using a pair of scissors. Just be safe, all you 4-Hers and FFAers out there, to not cut yourself. So we put the holes in there. We've got the sign setting where we want it. I went ahead and put the others in there, the other zip ties. You can use different sizes, different colors, whatever you choose. Whatever you choose to like to choose, whatever. Put your zip ties on there. Tighten them all down. We got 3 more to do. Don't overdo it, especially if you've got cardboard or this plastic stuff for these yard signs, or poster board or something like that, because it'll just rip right through it. So just be careful. Go back, clip off your excess. Pair of scissors, pair of diagonal cutters, whatever you've got handy that'll work. So there we are. We've got the top done. It's all in one piece now. The beauty about this piece is it can stay together the whole time. You never really have to take this piece apart because it's zip tied together. You don't want to be putting it all together when you get on site wherever you're going. So this is pretty much done. So let's put it together and finish the job and see how it all looks in one piece. So that's our sign. We'd like to invite you to come like our Facebook page and send us some pictures of your signs and what you do in your exhibits. Please come visit us at CamelotHills.net, see what all we've got going on around our farm, and sign up for our blog. We also want to wish you the best of luck in all your future shows and exhibitions. May your udders be full and your kids be plenty.